Hey there, welcome to the Bernie Show on STL Sports Central, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Let me adjust my chair here. Man, I stayed up late watching World Series Game 3. How about that, huh? My goodness, what a ball game. Anyway, I'm Bernie Miklasz, and I've been writing and talking about St. Louis area sports, including the colleges, since 1985. Here at STL Sports Central, my happy home, I do 5 videos and write 5 columns each week here on our site. Also, connect with Randy Carricker for a couple of weekly reunion segments on his show here at STL Sports Central. And you can catch me frequently throughout the week on multiple shows on KMOX, FM, and AM. Before I get started, please do us a favor here at STL Sports Central. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that like button on the videos. All of that happens to help us a lot, and we do appreciate you. All right, today's topic. Been wanting to get this one off my chest here on the Bernie Show. In 2025, the Cardinals had an embarrassingly poor outfield offensively. That's to put it lightly. And the project to rebuild this team's dull and uninspiring offense, the overall offense, ain't going to happen unless Chaim Bloom can rebuild the outfield, which is obviously a huge part of the lineup. It's 3 different spots in the lineup. I mean, seriously. The set of numbers produced by the St. Louis outfield as a group was absolutely pathetic in 2025. Every time I look at these numbers, I just shake my head because you're like, there's just no way they could have been that bad. And they were that bad. They were hideously bad. This was, pardon my dramatic language, but it was really a disgrace to a franchise that has a prominent historical roll call of outfielders that includes the names Stan Musial, Lou Brock, Enos Slaughter, Joe Medwick, Jim Edmonds, Terry Moore, Matt Holliday, Willie McGee, Ray Lankford, Vince Coleman, Curt Flood. I know Pepper Martin also played in the outfield, Chick Hafey, George Hendrick, Carlos Beltrán, and so many others. And my apologies for leaving some of the other names out. But it's a great legacy of outfield play here in St. Louis. Last year was an abomination. This past season. I don't think it's possible to do any worse than having the awful collection of hitters that John Mozeliak put together to handle the outfield assignments in 2025. To me, this was the bottom point, as low as you can get, of a long, slow decline of a St. Louis Cardinals outfield that once upon a time, not all that long ago, was one of the best in the majors. Remember when the Cardinals had Jimmy Edmonds in center, flanked to his left and to his right by terrific hitters? I'll remind you about that in a while. It might make you cry, might make you weep. Anyway, not to pick on Mozeliak gratuitously, he is retired and all that. But look, he tried in vain to assemble a quality outfield for years, cycling through one outfielder after another, signing players, trading for players, hoping that something would stick, something would work. And the result, for the most part, was a whole lot of mediocrity. Oh, yeah, there was the occasional upturn. In the second half of the 2021 season, Tyler O'Neill and Harrison Bader and Dylan Carlson were really, really good. They led the surge that got the Cardinals in the playoffs. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend nothing good ever happened. But come on, the whole body of work, forget about it. There were a lot of injuries, bad signings, disappointing players, and just lousy performances from players who never performed up to the level of hyper expectation. And I want to address the Oscar Taveras thing because I'm a little bit different than I would say just about everyone else in the media on this. The Cardinals were planning on outfielder Oscar Taveras to become their next star, but as we know, sadly, an intoxicated Taveras and his girlfriend died in a single car crash in the Dominican Republic soon after the Cardinals season ended in the 2014 NLCS. Through the years, John Mozeliak has often cited the Taveras death as a turning point to explain the ongoing problems and issues in the outfield. But frankly, I'm not sure Taveras would have become the player of the Cardinals' imagination. I had players on the Cardinals and Tim McCarver and others, scouts from other teams, say, listen, this kid can't hit a fastball. Now, maybe he would have become a guy who could hit a fastball, but he was overmatched by fastballs early in his career, and his personal immaturity was a real issue. Yes, Oscar could have outgrown all of that, right? But I can't, and he could have become an elite hitter, but I can't assume that. See, I think people in the media assume that. I just can't do it. There's no reason to do that. So the Tavares story has taken a mythological turn through the years, and I'm just reluctant to embrace it. Besides, can we cut through the beeswax here? Oscar died in 2014. It soon will be 2026. What kind of major league organization, baseball operation, needs 12, 13 years to piece together a quality outfield? Seriously. We just can't just keep using this as an excuse to justify the incompetence, the Cardinals' failure in developing a really good outfield offensively. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. How bad was the Cardinals offense from the outfield in 2025? Well, I'm here to tell you, because as always, I bring the numbers. The group had a .223 batting average. It ranked 14th among the 15 National League outfield contingents last season. The 300 on base percentage was 14th out of 15. 334 slugging percentage was the worst by an outfield in the National League. 634 OPS was the worst by an outfield in the National League. The Cards outfield finished last in the National League in doubles, and finished last in the National League in runs batted in. The outfield groups combined 38 home runs. Only 38 home runs, worst total by a National League outfield. The Cardinals outfield hit a home run every 46 at-bats. That ratio is horrendous. 8 individual major league hitters had at least 38 home runs in 2025, matching the total posted by the entire St. Louis outfield. Aaron Judge by himself out-homered the Cardinals outfield 53-38. Juan Soto by himself out-homered the Cardinals outfield 43-38. And we wonder why the Cardinals offense sucked in 2025. How the hell can you score enough runs when your outfield is a dead zone offensively for the most part? And it gets worse. I mean, this was a historically bad outfield in Cardinals history in terms of offense. And it was a glaring hole. And I will explain and give you more details on that. It pains me to do so, but we got to talk about this because, frankly, I don't think this area has gotten enough attention. I really don't, and I don't understand it. I've written about it. I've talked about it. Otherwise, it's kind of like, oh, ho-hum, yeah, they got to improve their offense in the outfield, as if this is like a minor tweak or something. Are you kidding me? Seriously. First, let me talk about something pleasant. By reminding you, the DraftKings Sportsbook app is on the way to Missouri, and the good times will officially begin to roll on December the 1st. America's top-rated sportsbook app will launch 33 days from now in our state and in our community. So get a jump by downloading the DraftKings Sportsbook app and signing up in advance, and then you're organized. You're not going to be scrambling around last minute. You'll be ready on December the 1st, and you can immediately get in on the fun by wagering on your favorite sports, your favorite leagues, your favorite teams, your favorite players, the big stars, whatever tickles your fancy, as they say. So open your account on the DraftKings Sportsbook app and have everything in place. And when we go live December the 1st, new Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets just by placing a $5 bet. That is sweet. That is a hell of a deal there. DraftKings is simply the best. You've got live in-game betting, so that means you can just jump in on the action anytime you want during a game. You see an opportunity, go for it. Opportunities to win are always there for you at DraftKings Sportsbook. The DraftKings Sportsbook app has lightning-fast payouts. None of this nonsense about having to wait 3 days for your money. DraftKings shows you a lot more respect than that. When we go live on the 1st of December, you're going to be betting with the safe and secure sportsbook trusted by millions. The rest, winning the money, well, that's up to you. So here's the play. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the code STL Sports, and when we go live on the first day of December, 33 days from now, that $5 bet turns into a $300 in bonus bets. That is code STL Sports in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after they're issued. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms are available at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. All right, welcome back to segment number 2 of the Bernie Show. And once again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and kindly hit the like button. We love you for doing it. Helps us. Thank you. The amount of offense pumped out by the St. Louis outfield in 2025 was the equivalent, or just about an equivalent, to a dry oil well. Alec Burleson did put up some good numbers when he played the outfield. His outfield only numbers. He slugged .442, had 11 homers. Lars Nootbaar led the outfielders, had 13 home runs and 47 RBIs, both numbers the highest among the outfielders. That was pretty much about it. The Cardinals used 12 different players in the outfield over their 162 games, and most were just really horrible offensively. Jordan Walker and Victor Scott combined for nearly 900 plate appearances as outfielders and really got very little done except for Scott's impressive stolen base total. Brendan Donovan had 74 plate appearances as a left fielder, and he batted .172. Nootbaar had 570 or so plate appearances as an outfielder, was below average overall as a hitter. Remember the Ivan Herrera experiment in left field? That lasted a few games. The rest was a collection of spare parts. There was at least one potential prospect, Nathan Church. We'll need to see more from him. The bottom line, offensively, the 2025 St. Louis Cardinals outfield offensively was the worst by far during Bill DeWitt Jr.'s 30 seasons as the team's owner. Not counting the pandemic short in 2020. We're just going to throw that out because it was, gosh, how many games? What, 50, 60? It leaves us 29 seasons of outfield offense to look at. And where did the 2025 outfield fit into those 29 seasons? Well, the 2025 outfield was 20% below the league average offensively. That's the worst of all the 29 years of outfield offense here. Last in batting average, last in on-base percentage, last in slugging percentage, last in OPS, last in isolated power, last in home runs, last in doubles, last in runs batted in. Listed 29 outfields offensively. This group was last in every single dang category. Now, I wouldn't say that this made me cry. Watching it made me want to holler a lot, but my gosh, it's kind of difficult. Someone who covered the glory days of Cardinals baseball during the DeWitt era, just kind of hard to realize how far the Cardinals have fallen, how far or how hard they have crashed in this area. Over the last 30 seasons, the Cardinals' most productive and prolific and entertaining outfield came back in 2001. Outfielders on the 2001 Redbirds collectively batted .295 with a .382 on-base percentage. They slugged .540. They had a .959 OPS. As a group, they slammed 100 home runs. They drove in 333. Just to give you a pleasant reminder about the good old days, the 2001 Cardinals used rookie Albert Pujols and veteran Ray Lankford in left field. Lankford was traded for Woody Williams during the season, though. Pujols also played a lot in right field. There was Jimmy Edmonds in center. There was J.D. Drew in right. They had a guy like Craig Paquette who would play right field at times and always produced or consistently produced. This is all you need to know. Listen to this. Might make you cry a little, metaphorically speaking. The 2001 Cardinals got 32 home runs and 101 RBIs from left field. They got 33 homers and 123 RBIs from center field. They got 35 homers and 109 runs batted in from right field. In all three spots in the outfield, the slugging percentage was .525 or higher. Like I said, it makes me want to cry, makes me want to holler, makes me want to pound the table and say, what the hell happened here? All right, you want to know where do the Cardinals go from here? You know, I'd love to give you some easy paint by numbers, snap into place explanation. But it all depends on the timetable for the rebuild. It depends on whether at some point the next couple, 3 years, they'll make a big trade for an outfielder, spend some money on an outfielder. We got to wait and see. You know, I ain't got a crystal ball, and even if I did, it wouldn't work. Chaim Bloom could look for some help from the outside this offseason, but I don't really make any predictions there. I do know this. The Cardinals going into last year needed a right-handed hitting outfielder to counter their weakness against left-handed pitching because they had so many left-handed hitting outfielders. They still need that. I think it just comes down to things that are already in front of us, with one exception. Comes down to Jordan Walker figuring it out, Victor Scott improving. He works hard. I think there's a chance. We'll see. But it's a real stretch to expect all of a sudden like big, strong numbers from either guy in 2026. And I do expect we're going to see Walker spend time in AAA Memphis because he needs to rebuild his swing and his hitting approach. And he will have really good instructors down there because things have changed down on the farm. The Cardinals need Nootbaar to hit well when he returns from double heel surgery, either late in spring training or early in the season. I still don't understand everybody. St. Louis media, they're just freaking out. Panic mode. When he had surgery, we kind of knew that, he wasn't going to be ready to go full speed, like say by December 4th, right? We knew this would affect the offseason. Why are people acting like this is like some bulletin down from the heavens? It's just strange time, man. Strange time. Anyway, they're going to need Newt to hit well when he returns from the double heel surgery early next season or whenever it is, but it'll be early next season because that's how he'll reinflate his value in time for the 2026 trade deadline. Burleson has established himself as a good major league hitter and his power should continue to increase. But if the Cardinals trade Wilson Contreras, Burleson will move to first base. Nathan Church will get a shot to earn playing time. Herrera is going to try to catch again, probably DH a lot. If the Cardinals don't trade Brendan Donovan, I suppose, and I think they will, we could see more of him in left field in 2026. The Cardinals do have an intriguing power hitting prospect in Joshua Báez. He was the 54th overall pick in the 2020 draft. No, 2021. Sorry. He does have home run pop. It's legit. He's got the speed to steal a lot of bases. He cut way down on his strikeouts in 2025. His walk rate went up. His plate discipline dramatically improved. He played at 3 different levels in the minors this past season. He finished in AA Springfield, 79 games there. He was at his best. He homered every 17 at-bats. He slugged .509. But for the entire season, he also swiped 54 bases. So the Cardinals are going to need Báez to become a real power source and a real athletic weapon sooner than later. And they're going to need Jordan Walker to finally mature, wise up, show some urgency, make something special out of his natural talent. They'll need Victor Scott to become a more capable hitter. They'll need Nootbaar to stay healthy, turn some heads so they can get a good deal for him in a trade. And Bloom must do his thing, incrementally, big, whatever, to make upgrades. But for now, all I can say is this, and I'm going to steal from a classic Simon and Garfunkel song, but I'll scratch Joe DiMaggio from the lyric lineup. And I ain't going to sing. Where have you gone, Jimmy Edmonds? Cardinal Nation turns its lonely eyes to you. Where have you gone, Jimmy Edmonds? Cardinal Nation turns its lonely eyes to you. Woo, woo, woo. It's that bad. It's resorted me to quoting old lyrics. All right. Thank you all for watching The Bernie Show on STL Sports Central. And thanks to DraftKings for presenting The Bernie Show here on our great website. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday.